Alright, y'all, hello and welcome back to another rally video. This time we're diving into the actual footwork and all the crazy movements and skill that it really takes to, well, complete stages in what I think is pretty much the craziest motorsport on earth. We all know that you're driving fast cars on slippery surfaces, or at least what should be slippery, right? You're driving on dirt and gravel, on the side of cliffs and mountains, through forests, with no room for error. Let's take a closer look at the crazy dance that goes on with the pedals and, of course, working that wheel. This should be fun.
Why on earth do you press the brake pedal with your left foot?
If you look at the speed of the...
This is Colin McRae. She asked, why did you push the brake pedal with your left foot?
The movement between you taking your right foot off the pedal, off the accelerator, and putting it on the brake, it takes time to do that. But now, I can put my left foot on the brake almost as my right foot is coming off the power, so there's no transition between throttle and brake pedal.
Wow.
They almost overlap each other.
Okay, right away, look at him slinging this thing across this wide turn, right? She's fascinated, clearly. She's asking, why is he left foot braking? And he's right? Like, every millisecond counts in racing, in any form of motorsport. And these guys find out, that's why the pros, these guys really find out how to shave second after second, tenths of seconds, hundreds of seconds. They find out how to shave it off. And it can be in literally just movements, right? If this guy was, going from the throttle and then over to the brake with his right foot the whole time, think of all the times you would do that, right? That transition, and you would lose a lot of time. Whereas he's learned to left foot brake, which might be awkward for some people if you haven't done it much. But he's learned how to do that, and he mitigates the throttle and the brakes at the same time. It can also help, make the car behave in different ways. It can make it grip or make it hook around a turn a little better. This is why I love motorsports, but of course I really love rally, because I feel like there's a lot more of this that goes on in rally, because you're dealing with crazy terrains and loose surfaces and just different cars overall than you would in NASCAR or Australian supercars or Formula One. I think a lot of this goes on, and the driver control is just off the charts.
A lot of drivers still use their right foot to brake and accelerate.
But some of the greatest drivers in the world never left foot brake.
Yeah, but that was in the good old days, Penny.
Whoa.
No, some of them even now. I think Carlos sometimes still uses his right foot now and again. But I've always used my left foot right since I started rallying.
Is it something you just taught yourself?
Yeah, more or less. You just try it and see how it feels.
Yeah, I actually agree with him here. I suppose you can be really great and still use more, more of just like a 1 foot approach, but I feel like in a racing, not maybe in your daily driving commute, but in a racing scenario, especially in rally, for some reason, I feel like left foot braking makes sense. So obviously he is one of the all-time greats. He's, you could see his footwork was incredible. What do y'all think? Would you go for a 1 foot approach, or is the 2 foot left foot braking approach better? I tend to think it is. I just feel like it would end up being more precise when you learned it well. And it would save time, and saving time to any degree is what you want in motorsports. All right, take a look at this clip. My God, that sound is absolutely incredible. Look at this footwork. Oh my God, that's in. It's wild, man. Okay, so he does do a little bit of both, which is probably what I would try to end up learning too. He's right here left foot braking, although he previously just right foot braked for that other obstacle. And his left foot also has to work a clutch. He's shifting a lot. So this is an old school rally car. I believe this is an 80s Audi, which is one of the best ever. Yeah, sound is just heaven. It's the best. But what a wild car to drive, right? Yeah, he's left foot braking here. Wow. Look at him working the wheel. That's so hard to be able to shift. Manually doing all this. You know, driving these cars is a lot easier if it's a sequential shifter, right? But when you're dealing with an H pattern, that's just next level. Even a sequential shifter, though, versus paddles or, you know, any automated gearbox, right? It's just, people still, I don't think casual fans will never appreciate how much is involved with throwing these cars around on the track or on rally stages. Being a race car driver is nuts. There's so much skill involved. Look at how fast he shifts. Wow. And he's working the handbrake too. Wow. Those old Audis are next level, man. I can't believe these are from the 80s sometimes. Holy crap. The sound is addicting. Look at this foot. First of all the wheel movements. Woo, off the rev limiter. Look at over here. Look at all that movement. Oh my God. Look at him working the throttle. Those shifts are kind of unreal. Look at all the movement. Wow. Now, as a manual drive or a manual transmission driver, I do own a manual transmission car that I basically daily drive. I love it, right? And I know that's rare for Americans, but I do love it. Now, of course, that's a lot different driving around the street, you know, slow, doing the speed limit, just running, you know, going from point A to point B. Doing, you know, being able to shift just a regular street car smoothly, you know, that's how you know you're good at it, is when you can drive and, you know, you're driving, going through the gears smoothly. There's not too much rocking or banging or, you know, weird clutch slipping going on, right? That takes a while to get right. Of course, it takes discipline to keep driving like that correctly. And that's just on the street, you know, in low stress scenarios. When you're going, you know, all out in a race car or all out in a rally car in this instance, and you see him go through like 3 or 4 downshifts, 3 or 4 gear changes, going fast and then braking really aggressively. That is, I admire that so much. That is so hard to do, and he does it fast and he does it relatively smoothly. I just can't believe it. Like, I can admit that there's no way I could do that like that. Right? It's kind of crazy. No idea what driver or car win, but it is a rally car clip. We have awesome Puma racing shoes here. It says rally pedal cam. I'm not sure if it's rally or not. We're going to keep this in here. This sounds amazing. I almost dare to say, I don't want to act like I know cars that well, but I feel like this sounds like an Australian V8 supercar. If so, that's awesome, by the way, and it sounds great. It doesn't sound like, you know, gravel's hitting under, pan of the car. I don't think this is a rally car. We'll keep it in here. This is an awesome clip. Interesting to note that he's using right foot braking, and then, of course, he has to throttle blip with his heel toe, you know, method as well. Wow. Yeah, that's fun. Of course, I have to mute copyrighted audio music, but here's Walter Rural. I probably say his name wrong. I usually do. This guy knew how to work a car, let me tell you. And look at this one. Not necessarily pure pedal cam, but you can see all the movement still. This rally driver, Josef, in an Audi, is taking this child for the ride of her life. How cool is it that she can say she's ridden in an old Audi S1 rally car when most of us as grown adults can, you know, not say that? That's pretty cool. Here we go. Holy crap! lap. Whoa. I didn't know he'd go all out like that. She's grinning ear to ear. You can see it. You know what? She's brave. She's doing better than most adults I've seen that ride along. Half of them are usually scared to death. You can see rally cars, how much you get thrown around in there, right? Even totally belted in. Got the harness on. This is incredible. God, the sounds of that are so intriguing. Wow, that guy's a great driver, and she is an awesome co-pilot right here. Ride of her life. Dude, a rally is just so addicting, man. That was so cool, that last clip. Holy smokes. I can't imagine how thrilling that would be in person. I mean, these videos get me pumped up, and it's just through a screen and through headphones. I can't even imagine. Of course, like rally, even through video games is fun. That gives you a little more taste, I suppose. But still nothing like the real deal. That was awesome. I can't believe how much movement is really involved. I mean, we've seen this in other videos before, and you know, the amount of steering input and throttle, brakes, clutch, shifting, handbrake, right? Like, there's so much going on with these cars, and it is truly incredible to see a master at work when you see one of these drivers on a really fast stage and they just are in the zone, and they have that car. That car's almost an extension of them, and they know exactly how to twist it, turn it, slide it around. It's crazy to me. For the billionth time, I am just so mind blown by rally and rally cars and rally drivers. The fact that they can take these cars to, you know, very fast speeds on surfaces that you wouldn't think or you wouldn't associate with speed. Going in snow fast over jumps doesn't make sense. That's why I freaking love rally. I hope you enjoyed that. I cannot wait to see some of your ideas and suggestions, and of course your thoughts on this down below. I appreciate you watching. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all, stay safe out there. I'll catch you later.